Hey everybody, I'm Lzzy.
And I'm Arejay, and we're from Halestorm.
And right now you're watching Rock Forever magazine. Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Tori from Rock Forever magazine, and I'm here right now with Lzzy and Arejay from Halestorm. How are you guys doing today?
We are doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. I'm amped for the show. Are you guys pumped? I mean, you're playing Orlando tonight.
Dude, always. We've been waiting to come back to Orlando, and we just finished our new record, so it's been like in the studio for like a month or so, and we've been off for a second, and we're just glad to be back out on the road. And I got to get used to wearing heels again. It's like a whole ordeal.
We haven't played the House of Blues in Orlando in a while, so it's kind of like a big homecoming thing, you know?
For real, it's good to have you guys back. And I mean, what is it like for you guys to be adjusting back on the road? I mean, how was the recording process like? Were you sort of secluded, or what was going on?
A little bit. We did it in Nashville, in a church, actually. The producer that we chose, his name is Jay Joyce, and he ended up renovating this old church and making it into a studio. So it was beautiful, such a great experience. We had so much fun. Yeah. But yeah, it's like we were just obsessed with that for a while, and then we finally got it done, and now we're like, okay, back out on the road. Yeah, so we love the road.
To be out back on the road, you know, playing shows for people. I'm excited.
Yeah, and I'm excited that you're excited. And we're going to do a few finish the sentence questions for you guys. They should be fun. Right. Now, we're the most starstruck when you met.
Ooh, I'd have to say Tom Kiefer from Cinderella. He is a childhood idol of mine, still is, because he's a fantastic human being. But yeah, the 14-year-old in me died a little bit, you know, when I met him, because I was just like freaking out, you know, and he ended up asking me to sing a song with him, and I'm like, oh my God, you know, so yeah, I fangirled all over the place.
That's amazing. What about you?
I think probably one of the biggest, Lzzy, my own sister, yeah.
Every day he fangirls.
She's like this all day. Don't listen to her. For me, one of the biggest was probably getting to meet Black Sabbath with when Dio was alive. We played a show with Heaven and Hell with Dio and Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler, and I think Vinny Appice was playing drums, and that was pretty epic, because like Dio, he was like this tall, and he would he came up to me, he pat me on the cheek, he was like, "You did so good tonight," and I was like, "Oh, thanks, Uncle Ronnie," you know, like
that's iconic.
He was the sweetest dude ever, and I was like, do you know who you are? You know, it was amazing.
Yeah, that's incredible. And now, the most surreal moment of your career so far was when?
Playing with Black Sabbath. No, every answer is going to be Black Sabbath.
Every time. I don't know. I think for us, it's been just a progression of everything kind of getting more and more surreal, you know?
We got to win a Grammy. That was pretty cool.
No big deal, right?
We still chuckle at that. We're like, phew. Who messed up and did that?
Yeah. Actually, I won a Golden God Awards for Best Drummer in
2010?
No, I think it was 2012. I think it was last year or something like that. For the Revolver. Something. What year is it? She doesn't even know what year it is.
You should look that up.
But Wikipedia.
That was just epic for me, because like no one really gets an award for being like a guitar player or a drummer or a musician. So like that was like so amazing, you know.
Yeah, of course. And the key to success is
don't stop.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
Yeah.
Don't stop believing.
You know what? It's
a good old journey in there.
It sounds really cliche, but it's actually really true. You know, the key to success. I mean, it doesn't matter. You know, like whether you're like this turbo musician, or whether you look really good, or whether you have a rich uncle that owns a record company. It's like all of that. If you win in, you know, American Idol, none of that matters if you don't keep going. You know, it's like, so our whole philosophy has always been to just continue. So we started out playing like in malls and coffee houses. We played a funeral once, only once, and you just spiral outward, man. And every day is a new day, and you just got to keep going. Don't break up. You know,
that's good advice.
Other thing I've learned, you know, from my experience, is that it all comes down to the song. You know, if the song really makes an impact, you know, just write your ass off and keep trying to top yourself. Keep trying to write better songs. You know, I compare it. I always use like Nirvana as an example. Like Kurt Cobain, he wasn't an opera singer. He wasn't a shredder. You know, everything he did was very, very basic, but it was very honest. And he just, the songs that he wrote, you know, impacted people. So the song is definitely the most important thing, probably.
Yeah.
You know.
So what do you guys think makes a good song? What elements does the song have to have?
You know, honestly, songs are relative to the, you know, it's like we listen to so many different types of music. And what is a horrible song or even a band, to someone is someone else's favorite band, favorite song. So it's tough to say, well, this is what makes a good song. In fact, if somebody knew that and everybody knew that, everyone would write like these great songs and everyone would be successful.
For me, I think if it comes from here and if it's honest and genuine, then no one can fault you for that.
Exactly.
Whether it's good or bad, if it means something to you, then that makes it good.
Yeah. Definitely. And last one here, the most memorable fan experience happened when? I feel like you guys would have a lot of those.
Yeah, that's really hard to pick.
That's the hardest question.
And some are definitely
on a
not
daily
PG,
basis,
so- Yeah, daily basis.
Interact with the fans, doing meet and greets, hanging out after the show or on social media.
Yeah.
And I don't know. You got a pair of boxer shorts.
I apologize. I did, but depending on how, whatever. It's just listen next at your own risk. But there was this one time where this cute little 17-year-old girl, right? She hands me an envelope, and I'm thinking it's a letter, and there is a letter inside, and she's like, open it later. And so I'm like, okay, I will. And I went into the bus at the end of the night, and I'm like, oh, I have this letter from this girl. Yeah. And there was something in it, and so I open it up, and there's a tampon. And she says in the note, get Cole's ears. She says in the note, she says, could you please use this and then tweet me at this and let me know that you used it so that some part of me was with you. And I'm like, but I would have never known because I looked at her. I know, right?
Offended.
I know.
What about me?
I know. Arejay wants all the tampons. So
don't leave anyone out.
So there's that, which there's that. But there's so many different things that we get letters like
Actually,
daily,
one letter
and
from a
which is
kid
awesome.
inspired one of the songs we wrote called Rock Show. And she was there last night. This little girl, little guitar player named Allie. She's going to be here tonight. So yeah. So we draw inspiration from our fans, and that makes it very memorable.
And after that tampon story, I don't feel like there's a proper way to segue into my next question.
Okay, so let's just move on.
Yeah, let's just move on, because my next question was about you being a family-oriented band. Because brother,
so
sister here. But
no, that's a perfect tie-in, right?
Perfect timing. There was really no way to do that. But
we're close enough as siblings where we can talk about disgusting stuff like that, and there's no problem, whatever.
Thank you. There we
Lzzy's
go.
one of the guys, essentially,
Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, you started, I remember hearing the story about the talent show, that's sort of how you came up with the name, and your father was performing with you in the early beginnings. So how do you think having your family so close-knit within the band has impacted your mindset now?
I think that if it wasn't for our parents' childish abandon and saying, sure, absolutely, you can start a band, we'll support you and go with you to the bars and everything. And if they hadn't done that, we wouldn't have started that early. And I think that, and Arejay said it best the other day. He said that because Arejay and I are brother and sister, and we're siblings, that family vibe kind of leaks itself into the rest of the crew and the rest of the band. So we're all like this very tight-knit road family, and you don't break up the family, therefore you don't break up the band.
Exactly. So hopefully we'll never see you stop.
No,
forever
we don't know
and
how to
ever.
stop.
We don't know.
True. That was your advice. Got to keep going. There it is. And you were mentioning that you're done with the third album. It's complete now.
Yeah.
So
we're just
how?
waiting on mixes.
Okay, no big deal here. We just got to calm ourselves while we wait. But how do you think this is going to compare to previous releases? What's different about this one?
What we set out to do with this one, and I believe we accomplished, was to kind of bridge the gap between what people have seen live and what they hear on our records. So we did it very grassroots. We went basically back to the method that AC/DC has used and Led Zeppelin has used, is basically every single day we would hit record, and it would be all four of us in one room in a circle playing together, recording live, and then we would add some stuff on top of it. All of the vocal performances are from beginning to end of the song. Nobody's cutting anything up. There was no auto-tune. We did a lot of, it's very organic, and it's very warts and all unapologetically us. So it's just it's one of those things where I feel like at this point in time in our lives we had to at least try to do it that way.
Right.
And we're excited, man. I hope that people like it, but the important thing right now is that we're so stoked, and so we're getting some mixes back this week, and we'll have a date for everybody pretty soon.
Hoping it comes out soon. I can't wait.
It sounds like this recording process compared to previous releases was a little more tedious, though, wasn't it? It sounds like it was more difficult.
In ways it
was, because when you're in the way we've done the last 2 records has been kind of more assembly line and studio, everything kind of being done separately. There was no song that we actually did all together. It was 2 days, and he did all the drums for the entire record, and then 2 days I did all my guitars, 2 days Joe did all his guitars, then we did bass, and then I sang.
Right.
And we all did everything separately, so it was kind of like hard to like get that vibe. And on this record you would pick one song a day and we would do it over and over and over again until we got it right. And so you're just waiting for that magical moment where everyone's riding the same wave and we all don't royally mess up, because that's the thing. It's like if one person messes up, we all got to do it all over again. So it's like it was a lot of fun.
The cool part is that like this is like the first record where I feel we really captured our live energy on record, which we haven't done quite yet.
I really do, yeah.
So hopefully everybody comes up to us after the shows. They say, "You guys killed it live, but the record just doesn't have the same energy on the recording."
Yeah.
So hopefully this one is, we get a little bit closer to that,
Yeah.
And I know this should be like such an oh duh thing, but I had never recorded any of our records while I'm playing at the same time. And you sing so much differently when you're playing a piano and singing, or you're playing a guitar and singing. It's like, or if you just take it all off and then you're just like, you're singing right now, so you like kind of overdo. So it was really cool, like, when we're listening back to stuff, I'm like, wow, it sounds like us.
Well, I was just saying, when I do backups, I'm the same way. I'm like singing the mic and air drumming, I'm used to it.
Remember to breathe.
And what about lyrically? What kind of stuff was inspiring you this time around?
Honestly, and Arejay said a little bit about this before, a lot of our interactions with our fans, and we're very active on social media, so a lot of those stories that we've been talking about leak themselves into our songs. So a lot of it is kind of fan-oriented, and through them, I don't know, we've been very, I hate to keep bringing up this word, but we've been very, like, unapologetic, even in our personal lives. We've kind of grown up a little bit, and, we're doing this thing called whatever the F we want, you know what I mean? It's like, and it's just such a beautiful time to be that in a band. Like, we're all at an age that we're still kind of perpetually 14 inside, but we've accomplished more than we've ever thought, and so a lot of that, leaked itself into the lyrics too.
I think it was a lot less, okay, let's write a song so it's a hit radio song, and more or less, let's write a song that's really, personal.
That's something we like. Yeah, we weren't thinking about that. That's the cool thing too, that it was so freeing not to think about radio, and not to think about, is the label gonna like it? Is management gonna like it?
Our producer,
Are the
Jay,
fans
too.
Yeah, he's very much like a musician-oriented guy.
He wanted to make a great art piece album, and we're like, that's what we want too, so we're on the same page, so it was cool.
We're excited.
Yeah, I'm sure being on the same page is very helpful.
Yeah, it helps.
And I remember reading in a previous interview, you said that you've evolved as, quote, the monster of Halestorm has gotten bigger. So how has your growth sort of influenced your evolution as a band?
Like I said, we just kind of always we're excited to take the next step, whatever that means. It's strange when you think about it, because all of a sudden, like a bus, like little things like that, like a bus, is like an everyday, that's normal right now. Whereas like only a couple of years ago, like that was not even in our realm of possibility, and same thing with if you're in a grocery store and somebody recognizes you, like I remember being kids, we remember saying this while we were in a grocery store with our mom when we were kids. We're like, wouldn't it be weird if like people knew who we were all of a sudden, so like there's little things that are now kind of you don't necessarily expect them, but they do happen on the daily, and we're just so incredibly thankful, because we say this a lot too. We're a very stop and smell the roses type band, whereas you have to like soak it in. Like right now, like we've never headlined this place before. We've come through here, we've seen bands here, we've opened for bands on this stage, so it's really cool to be here and it be our night, and you just gotta like think about that. We're like, guys, can you believe that we're still here and doing this? So it's exciting.
I mean, not only are you headlining it, but the line is going around the building right now. You've kind of taken over downtown Disney tonight.
We have everybody fooled.
you gotta like stop and like think like, okay, this is awesome. Like never thought we'd ever get to this point. So
Yeah. And I mean,
special.
at this point, you've reached so many incredible milestones. Like you were saying, you won a Grammy, no big deal. You debuted number 15 on the Billboard Top 200. I mean, list goes on and on of accomplishments here. So having reached all of this, what brings you the most fulfillment now?
Honestly, every night live shows for me. There's something that's still, I feel like we still have that same fire that we did when we first started and we were kids. And
If not more.
If not more, yeah.
This tour is like, I'm just amped on stage. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
This is our first tour since April, so it's like.
I mean, all of those things, all of those things that you listed, we never expected, and so it's like, I don't know what's gonna happen next. It's like let's strap ourselves in.
I mean, is there a goal that you have in mind that you want to accomplish next? I know the third album's coming up, so are you thinking about that?
Definitely. I mean, I'm curious to see what the world thinks of our latest record, and hopefully it reveals even more of what we do. We said the other day, like, I don't think our legacy has been fulfilled yet, and that sounds kind of weird and maybe at times cocky, but it's like I feel like there's so much more that we want to say that that hasn't been said on the last two records. So like if we all got like run over by a train now, the world would never know. So I feel like I'm sorry, that got really dark.
It got a little gory, but it's okay.
It's okay, but we're okay. We just can't perform. Never mind. But yeah, so I don't know, man. It's like we're going out with Eric Church on this tour too. We're doing some things in the country world, and not as country people, but country people want to rock. So they're like, come on over. So I'm like, sweet. So that'll be kind of fun to see how country people perceive us and
I'm curious
as
to see
ourselves.
how the different genres or different audiences think about our sound. So that'll be interesting.
And unfortunately, being in a female-fronted band does come with some stereotypes, and you are sometimes compared to other females in the genre. I mean, it happens. So keeping that in mind, what do you think is the biggest misconception about Halestorm that you want to clear up?
That we're rich, because we're not. The Grammy did not come with a check. Nobody owns a house.
We're all homeless.
But it actually is a misconception, because everybody after we won the Grammy is like, so did you get like a new car or something? I'm like, no, it didn't. It'd be nice if it came with a check. Think about that, guys. Think about it. No, start doing that.
Yeah, does the Grammy come with a Ferrari? That'd be great.
I don't know. As far as female fronted, I feel like there has been a stereotype over the years. In general conception is that the talent is less or whatever it is. But if there's been any negativity as far as toward us, I'm kind of have blinders on and I really don't pay attention. So I don't know, whatever. But what the great thing is that I really feel like all of my peers are kind of raising the bar. We're all kind of trying to not just ride on the fact that we can wear a short skirt and high heels. It's like everybody's actually like these girls tonight that were actually, you can hear they're in a band called the Dead Deads, and they have no management, no label, no nothing, and we took them out on this tour and they're just stoked and they're so talented, and that's the bottom line. The bottom line is practice and make sure you're good at your craft, and then you wear the high heels.
Gotta do both. There we go. And what are your plans for right after this tour? We're talking about the album release, but what else is coming up after this sober?
We're definitely making a trip to Europe at some point in time, and we want to make a trip to Australia. There's still a few continents that we have yet.
Australia, and that would be really cool. I think South America will definitely hit, because we got so many fans down there that are awesome, and they love rock and roll.
Pretty much it's tour until we drop, and then
tour some more.
Sounds like a plan. And anybody wants to keep up on social media, I know you guys are big on Twitter and all that kind of stuff, so where can everyone follow you?
We have a website. It's halestormrocks.com.
And all the Facebook, Twitter, everything's on the website, on the social media section. So
at Halestorm, at Arejay Hale, and at Lzzy Hale. Google me.
That's such a good idea,
right? Actually, don't. No, kidding.
You never know what you'll find.
You never know.
Google it.
All right. Well, on that note, thank you guys so much for hanging out. It's been amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone watching, subscribe for more interviews. Check out Halestorm if you haven't already. I don't know where you've been if you haven't, but go right ahead and Google them. And I'll see you next time. Bye.